Hey, Maria.
Hi, Charles.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Well, this
It's a
podcast, just so you know,
big honor.
we still haven't named it yet. So we're contemplating calling it "Still Building San Antonio." So
Yeah,
I think just to kind of set the scene for that, I'd love for us in the audience to be able to know your background and kind of what brought you to the point that we're interacting here today,
yes.
and then we'll jump in from there and kind of get an idea of where you're at, where you're heading, and what kind of help you need, and exciting things that are coming. Sound good?
Perfect. Yes, sounds wonderful.
So why don't you start by telling us, Hess Street Foods,
Mm,
Maria, as a person, what brought you to this seat here today?
Yes. So, before moving to San Antonio, we were living in Virginia. It's a small town called Crozet, close to Charlottesville.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And we were there missing family. We made lots of friends. We had a very special time there, but it was far from home. And when I say home, it's our parents living in Mexico still.
Okay.
So COVID hit, and we were really getting very nostalgic of not being able to travel back to Mexico and not having the possibility to have any guests from Mexico over.
Yeah.
So, missing a lot of our flavors and aromas and just traditions.
The
And
culture, right?
the culture,
Yeah.
yes. And I thought, it's my responsibility because I have three kids to do something about it and try to find a way to build identity
Mm-hmm.
and to make them understand who they are and that they're this blend of both American culture but also American culture because Mexican culture because of their parents.
Yep.
So the best way for me to start exploring this identity buildup was to do what I liked and what I loved, which is cooking, being in the kitchen. I grew up watching my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, make chorizo. That was her way of, making a living after my grandfather passed.
Mm.
So I had all these memories, and I had her special recipe in a little tin can. So I thought, I think this is the best time, right after COVID hit, and we had all this time available to try and make this recipe the way, and try to see if I can really replicate this flavor. Um, because, in a way, to me, that was going to be a virtual travel back to in time to Mexico. And it was also a way to tell my kids stories about her and about our country, Mexico.
Yeah.
And so that's how everything started. I started playing with the recipe in the kitchen. I didn't achieve the right flavor right away. I want to
Mm-hmm.
say that
Had to
it took
tweak it a
me a
little bit.
while.
Yeah.
It took me a while because it's a very complicated process, and it's a very long one. You spend hours in the kitchen making chorizo, the entire chorizo link, until you hang it and to dry it. We would do the entire process
The
of
whole thing.
chorizo making. So that's how everything started. That's how the curiosity into the chorizo world started for me.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I think you
Yes.
shared a handful of things I just want to touch on real quick.
Mm.
Like, number one, it's very clear that based on the way that you're explaining this, how important family and the ties to your culture is to you and the family that you're bringing up, your kids. The distance was being felt when you were in Virginia, and you really wanted to try to, bring that distance down to as close as you could. And this was a pathway to do that. Another
Yes.
thing that I love that you said in there was you'd mentioned the word blend when you were talking about the different worlds that you were trying to build for your family, through their experience as American but also the Mexican culture. I think that that's a perfect word considering the blend of spices and things that you bring together for,
Yes.
Hess Street Foods itself. So I say all that to say, then you talk about how specifically through COVID and this realization, you're going to bring this recipe out of its tin can and into the real world and utilize it to bring your family together. And I think that that's an amazing story. So thank you for setting that scene. And I think I want to kind of pick up where that left off. And you'd mentioned you're in Virginia. I'm just around COVID. So I'm thinking 2020, 21.
Yes.
And then you relocated here to San Antonio sometime around that same period, correct?
Yep.
And then tell me about, like, as you resurrected this this recipe and you were trying to bring it to the family, what was that experience? And then what led you to then thinking, like, this is something that I want others to experience as well? Could you walk me through kind of that period of time and that transition within your experience with the recipe itself?
Yes. So we're in Virginia. I started making this chorizo, the exact same version.
You got it down right.
Yes, the exact same flavor, aroma, everything. That was a celebration day for us. I started making it for friends, neighbors, friends of friends, and everybody loved it. And when someone really likes something, they tell you should make a business out of this.
Yes, they do.
So
that is the universal. You've got something here.
Yes. So I strongly believe that I could do something. I could create something from that recipe, but again, we were making like very, very important decisions, and we decided to move to Texas.
Okay.
So when we arrived to San Antonio, the first thing I did, I went to Hess Street because my grandparents lived there for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a way to be there and get the feeling of, someone has been here before me.
Yeah.
That's part of my story and my history as well. So when we were at Hess Street, that's when I felt very strongly that I needed to start the process of building a business around the craft of chorizo making.
Gotcha.
That was 2023.
Okay.
February.
So almost 3 years ago now. Yeah. Or pretty much, exactly.
Almost 3 years ago now. And my search started there, right there. I went to my back home, back to my house, and started searching for courses, programs that supported culinary accelerators.
Okay.
And so that's when I found Lunch Essay.
Lunch Essay and Breakfast and Lunch specifically, correct?
Specifically,
Yep.
breakfast and lunch, which was really a gift from heaven, a gift from my abuela. She was already setting the pathway.
I mean, that is what I'm hearing through this story. Not only was it a recipe that came from her that you were able to bring back, you go and you visit Hess Street, which is the kind of origin piece of
Correct.
this story as well.
Yes.
So you're here in San Antonio, those two paths are crossing in this realization that your family and friends are telling you, you've got something, this is something you should really try.
Yes.
And then it leads to Lunch Essay, Breakfast and Lunch, and in a weird way, we're kind of getting a little bit closer to where we're sitting today. I think the audience is captivated and they want to know more and more.
I hope so.
So you walk into Lunch Essay, which for everybody who does not know, uninitiated, is held over at, or the location of it is at our public library here in downtown San Antonio.
Yes.
The Enchilada Red building.
Beautiful building.
Yeah.
I love it.
And back in 2023, it was being operated by an amazing guy. His name is Ryan.
Ryan Saltz.
Yep.
Yes.
Ryan Saltz was legitimately like the connector of all connectors when it came to that org.
100%.
Yep. And that program in general. And Breakfast and Lunch was this. And I'm just kind of setting the stage. I'd love for you to kind of give me a little bit more because I didn't experience it myself,
Yes.
but from an exterior perspective, the amazing thing about what Ryan did with that program was to bring individuals like you.
I get the chills.
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too.
Yes.
It was a really powerful
Mhm.
experience, and I'm excited. We're bringing it back here soon, but more to come on that. But for that program itself, Ryan's secret sauce was bringing people who had been there and done that in this community, which is rich with people who are building amazing restaurants, who are building amazing food products. They bring them to the participants of Breakfast and Lunch, and they would help mentor you through these really big conversations. And I know you and I have shared in the past about this idea of bringing chorizo to the world and some pivots that you made, which brings us to what's in front of you. But help the audience understand what that experience for Breakfast and Launch was for you and what you learned from it, and then took you to this next stage.
Yes, this was a very, very, I'm very fortunate to have been part of this cohort, uh, to have met Ryan and all of the other mentors. You're not going to believe this, but we're still in touch. They're friends.
I
We
believe it.
became friends. Ryan was creating this perfect environment for us to connect and build something bigger and stronger than us as individuals.
Yeah.
So all of these mentors, for example, I can name Elisa and Mike Grimes from the beignet stand. Oh, they're cherished friends. They're we're close friends, and all this happened back then. Um, so I'm there with pretty. I don't know. We started a group of. I'm gonna take a guess, and I'm gonna say it looked like there was 30 of us
Mm-hmm.
the first day, and I felt very nervous, very anxious about it. I didn't know if I had to be an expert. Hess Street Foods was just in my head,
Yeah, just an idea.
just an idea. I didn't have a DBA, doing business as. I didn't have an LLC. And I was surrounded by a lot of people that already had their business running.
Yeah, they're at various stages, but most all of them are a little bit beyond where you were at this point, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that part was a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I felt like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Am I gonna offend these people? Are they gonna laugh at me? I have a big, strong, fat accent. What if I do grammatic mistakes when I'm speaking? Oh, we're the worst. We can be the worst bullies to ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
sometimes.
We beat ourselves up more than
that
anybody
was-
else ever could. Yes.
So, but honestly, Ryan and the Launches Say team created this environment where we, little by little, we all started to feel like we were a close family.
Hmm.
Like we were in a safe place to ask questions, to be honest, and become vulnerable as well. Because not only us, we were there, just putting our dreams on the table for everyone to see, but also mentors were very honest, and they open up, some with tears even,
Yeah.
about the reality of the food business and the food industry. And so it was a really good experience. I learned from industry codes and industry permits and bookkeeping and legal stuff, and then all the price strategy,
Like margins and
and marketing,
Yeah.
and everything. And so it was a very condensed program,
Yeah.
but enough for me to believe in myself. And I think they made me believe in myself.
That's big. I mean, that is, if you can only accomplish one thing during a program, if that's the one thing that they can accomplish, it's an amazing feat.
Yes.
But then you add in there what I've already heard as well, which is these connections, the connections that you made to other mentors, the connection that you made to other business owners as well. Those two things by themselves can be more powerful than most people think.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me really quickly, if I remember correctly, you walked in to the idea at that time was to create and sell chorizo fully made. So we're talking sausage meat with the blend of spices mixed in that somebody could go purchase, cook and eat, ready to go, right?
Yes, correct.
But that
Yes,
ended up
Charles.
changing while going through Breakfast and Launch, correct? And it ended up landing where it was now, what we're calling a chorizo paste, correct?
Yes, just the flavor.
Okay. And help me understand what during Breakfast and Launch led you to that conclusion, if you don't mind, or if you
Of
remember.
course.
Yeah.
Yes. When we were there was this person from the Department of Agriculture
Mm.
talking about all the codes and all the risks of handling raw meat, and all the dangers and all the lawsuits and all that.
Yep.
So I went back home and did a little bit of research, and I needed to create a drying chamber for my chorizo if I wanted it to be safe for people to eat.
Mm-hmm.
to me, safety was number one priority. I don't want to make someone sick. That's my last.
That's a good core base to have.
Yes.
I agree.
So I didn't have the capital, the funds, the money to get all the equipment necessary for my product to be 100% safe.
Yeah.
And that's when I understood that I had to pivot and create something different. And honestly, at that time, I didn't know what to do. I even thought about quitting the program.
Really?
I thought, this is it. I don't have the funds. I'm going to talk to Ryan and tell him that I appreciate all the help and this is it for me. But then one day I was listening to a mentor and it just came to me. If the meat is the problem, take it out.
Yeah.
If the meat is the problem, take it out. So I thought, hey, I'm going to see what it looks like to put this paste in a jar. So I did that one day after our get together at Lunch SA, came back the next day, and there were a lot of chefs there. Tatu Herrera, he's a wonderful chef here in San Antonio. So there were a lot of chefs there, and the next day I gave each one of them a jar with the paste and asked them to please explore, play with it in their kitchens, and tell me what they thought about it. And when I saw them again, they were very excited. They were like, Maria, we think you have something here that tastes delicious. It has no chemicals. It's exactly the way grandmothers, abuelitas used to make chorizo with fresh ingredients. And so that's when the idea of putting all the natural flavor in a jar started.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so just to recenter us, we're 2023 still, right?
Yes.
Going through breakfast and lunch, we made this huge pivot. Now that is something that makes sense in a jar. Tested it with chefs. Chefs love it. They're eating it up and they're trying to find other ways of using it. Mm-hmm. So now you're seeing, hey, what if I were to package this and sell this as a chorizo paste instead of it being in the chorizo itself? Mm-hmm. We get to, I'm imagining the end of the breakfast and lunch program, and you start to contemplate going to markets. Is that a safe assumption, or how does that transition happen from the idea now in a container to like, where do we take this? How do we start selling it? Where are we at with that?
So what I learned at Lunch SA, at breakfast and lunch, was that one thing is that you have all these chefs telling you that this is a great product. It tastes amazing. Mm-hmm. Other thing is for the market to accept it. Gotcha. And embrace it, and really, it's you have to test it.
And when we say market there, just for the audience, we're talking consumers willing to buy it and finding the same value that these chefs have in it. Correct?
Perfect. Okay. Yes. So a lot of my colleagues there were already at farmers markets, and they gave me a couple of names, and I started trying to, I started scheduling. I started operating under the cottage food law.
Which means you can do it from your house, correct?
Correct. Yep. So I was very, very, again, safety is my number one priority. So we were very careful to have everything sterilized at home, and we started producing everything there and scheduling farmers market, going to farmers markets. And the thing about this product is it tastes amazing. It comes from a generations-old recipe. But people have never seen it before, and they've never,
experienced
they never make their own chorizo at home. So the biggest challenge was educating the shopper, the buyer of the final product, to understand what it is, how to use it, because in a way, yes, chorizo has been in culinary history forever. It's been centuries, but this particular paste, it's and that's what HB liked about it. It's a very innovative presentation of this traditional dish. So I started going to farmers markets, testing the product, explaining customers what it was, telling them the story about chorizo, telling them that I'm the 5th generation, so we know what we're doing here. We're experts. We can manage flavors and fresh ingredients. And so it started from there. The people started getting very excited about it. I remember one of the customers that I remember, I opened one of the jars because they wanted to smell it.
Yeah.
And when I opened the jar, he got very emotional because he said that's the exact same aroma.
It brought him back home.
Exactly. Yes.
To probably his same grandma or his own grandmother. Right?
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
So to me, that because that's my goal. That's my mission, to bring a piece of history back to the present time.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you dropped in that explanation our next part that I want to touch on, which is HEB. I know that our paths crossed after you ended up going through a program that they have called Quest for Texas Best. Can you help me understand that whole process, application, acceptance, and kind of what comes from that program itself?
Yes, it's a very, very important, I'm going to say important, critical program to support local businesses in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
HEB is amazing when it comes to giving back to the community. So during breakfast and lunch, a couple of mentors, after tasting the paste, suggested I should enter into this contest.
Yeah.
But remember, I just founded Hess Street Foods. It's May 2023.
Yep.
And they said, the fastest that the faster that you do this, that you get all you're compliant to their guidelines, the better, because then you're gonna just wait and never do it.
Yeah.
So it's May, and then I had to submit everything February 2024.
Okay, so we're talking 9 months, maybe somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So I felt, this is not enough to be compliant with all these guidelines. I need to have a co-packer. I need to have all this codes ready and certifications and whatnot. But a mentor said, it looks overwhelming when you get the entire list of guidelines to participate, but just print it and work one by one every day.
Yeah, just start checking that box, right?
Correct.
Making daily progress, weekly progress, until you get to a place where you can see that it's not as insurmountable as it once looked, but on top of it, a place where you're ready to go, right?
That was the best advice.
Okay.
Yes, Charles. So I printed that guideline sheet to participate and started working on every single line. By February, we were ready to submit. I had a co-packer. I was ready. I had all my permits, all my codes, all my lab tests. I submitted my application. I was in my daughter's bedroom. I remember, in her little desk, clicked on the submit button and just wished for the best, and kept on working, kept on going to farmers markets, focused back to the everyday activities of running a business.
Yeah, because although this seems like an amazing opportunity, it's not a lock, and it doesn't mean that anything really changes. You still need to make ends meet, right?
Correct.
So you head right back out to the market and you start selling.
Yes. So, yeah. And then and then June 2024, I get a call. I was picking up my kids from school, and I get a call from an HEB executive saying that they want samples, that they're calling because of regarding the contest, HEB's Quest for Texas Best 2024. They got my application, and they're interested in getting samples. And I really thought this was a joke. That someone that knew I had submitted my application was just playing with me. But after a couple of minutes, it became very clear to me that this was HEB
Real.
calling.
Yeah.
And that was a very, very happy day for all of us. After that phone call, we were all screaming and yelling in the car and just having a big celebration. I took the kids for boba, and it's very in right now. Like, we were all very, very happy.
Rightfully so.
Yes. Yeah. So send the samples, and then got a second call, and they wanted to ask questions regarding numbers, finances, co-packing, safety measures for during the process of manufacturing the product. Things are very important for HEB.
Yeah.
And I answered all those questions, and then they said, you're going to present your project to a group of HEB executives. So get ready with your numbers, know your process, know your audience, meaning your market, who you're making this product to.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was announced top 10. I was pinching myself again and again and again because I didn't know. I had been chosen top 10 from a poll of 500 and something businesses.
They get
it's
so
crazy.
many. I want to say this last year was like something like 700 applicants across all of Texas.
Yes, and they're all great businesses.
And let's just take one quick pause there and acknowledge how amazing that is. 400 or 500 of them apply, and you become one of 10. That's huge. That is amazing. This is a golden ticket opportunity. This is something where now you see the potential where that product sitting right in front of you right now could potentially be sold on HEB shelves, in different parts of Texas, across all of Texas. That's huge. That's amazing. Just that alone, like stopping right there, is amazing. But when you're one of the finalists, you're one of the 10 finalists, correct me if I'm wrong, you then get access to learning. I think they have like an LMS system to help you understand what it is that you can learn about what it's like to sell a product with HEB, what it's like to be, correct, ready for all that. But then at the end, there is some form of a competition, and they end up choosing finalists, right? So bring me to that moment, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so it's Dallas, Texas, 2024. We're at this big, I don't know how to describe it. It's
auditorium.
Auditorium.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're right in the center, presenting your business in front of executive HEB VIPs, top executives, TV personalities, influencers, top influencers. It's overwhelming, and it's a big crowd, and they're very, very motivated. They have all these sounds going on, and they're all,
it's like a whole party, right?
It's a whole party. They're all very happy to learn more about us and our stories and our products. I remember it as a very, very beautiful day. It was a big compliment to my products. So you're there, it's Dallas, and you have to arrive early, and you have to cook for all the judges, and you have to present courses. And Ryan Salzworth was there helping me, my husband, my daughter, and we had been preparing this special dishes we did several. We did several. We got together here in San Antonio just to practice. So that was a big day. We cooked. We presented our story to the judges. They enjoyed our food, and then at the end, 3:00, they were going to present the top 3 winners and the grand prize. So I remember after presenting and, after all the adrenaline was gone, we felt like, we've done our job here. We put everything on the line. Yep. And then let's go to the Dallas Museum of Art and just quiet.
Center yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we did. It's very, very, it's crazy. But that was a perfect place to be at that time. And we're there. We come back to the auditorium, and I when I say it, I still don't know how to present it, but we were named first prize.
That's amazing.
And yes,
I've seen the video, by the way, and I can feel your excitement, astonishment, and emotions that come out in that moment when you're named. Like, you just brighten up. The whole room brightens up from how excited you were.
Yes.
And that's huge. So you came in essence, like, they have the grand prize. You were first, though, which comes with some funding, comes with more opportunities to get this product out there. Again, we're kind of in, I want to say September-ish 2024, if I remember the dates correctly, somewhere around there. And then, some time goes on, you get access to being on the shelves and all that work. Catch us up to speed with where we are here. I mean, if there's any other notable things between then and now, But I want the audience to know kind of what happens after. Walk us through that.
Yes. So right after your buyer, your HEB contact, um, schedules a meeting, and we talk about introduction dates and capacity and numbers, and then you start getting ready for that date
Mm-hmm.
to get to launch at HEB on HEB shelves, and it's like the real work starts then
Yeah.
there, right there and then. Um, all those funds, we use them to get all the ingredients and the materials and the jars and the lids and everything we needed to supply HEB on time.
Yeah.
We started working really hard. My co-packer really did an amazing job. Like really, there was not a line between my co-packer and us. We were all Hess Street Foods team.
Yeah.
And by December 9th, 2024, we were on shelves.
Wow. That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Yes. We were on shelves. We were very excited. And then you have to start working on educating the consumer. So HEB decided to place Hess Street Foods chorizo seasoning paste at the Cooking Connection stations.
Okay. And for the audience, those are in certain HEBs, they have this area where chefs will come and they'll prepare dishes, and they'll kind of try to let the or customers of that HEB know, hey, try to use this ingredient and this meat or whatever, and you can get this amazing dish here. Try it. That's kind of what they do, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. They're cooking with it. They're talking about their ingredients, about Hess Street Foods paste being clean label, meaning no preservatives, no oils, no sugar added, all good stuff for you. That helped us tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And we created a very strong connections with a lot of those chefs because they really became part of our team.
Yeah, and they become promoters of the product themselves because
Yes.
they're the ones that are having to talk about it. They learn about it. They almost become a part of that same team that you were mentioning with the co-packing
Yeah.
and yourselves. Like that's huge.
Yes. And it was very important for us to have their feedback, know what they thought about the product, what they were doing with it. So at the beginning, it was very surprising for us to see that most of the chefs weren't making chorizo with it.
What were they doing with it?
They were just adding those flavors to regular dishes,
Really?
like stews, soups, steaks, and they were having a blast because really the flavors just add so much depth to any dish. And so we started creating a database with all these amazing recipes that you can make with the chorizo seasoning paste without having to make the traditional chorizo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that, I guess, as I played that out and knowing the roots and you telling the story about how important this was to your history and bringing that, was that a new and exciting feeling, or was it somewhat of like a, hey, this is not what it was intended for? What was the feeling that you had?
It was all excitement,
Okay.
Charles. Yes. I loved, because again, when we talk about culture and the purpose of Hess Street Foods just existing in the ecosystem of small businesses, it's about creating bridges, and that's exactly what it was. It was a blend of both cultures and a blend of experiences that come from my family, the women in my family, chorizo makers, and then the expertise of all these chefs and the culinary schools where they have learned all these great skills, all that together to create dishes that I never would have come up with. It's amazing. Like, for example, a chorizolada, like a michelada, but with a chorizo paste, I would have never done that. So it was very inspiring to see that they were creating all these dishes with all these generational recipes. And from there, I also started to do demos and tell people my story. And to create brand awareness is not an overnight job.
No,
It takes
a lot of work.
a lot of work and time.
Yes.
in time, because some people, when they taste the products, they say, "Oh, how come I didn't know about this? Where are you guys at?" Well, we've been at this part of the store for this many months, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I wish I would have known before." So again, it's a job of um, doing a very strong work on social media, and being really careful with the words you use, and very intentional,
Yep.
very intentional.
Yeah, you had to. The term I hear a lot when we talk about this is beating that drum. Right? It is being consistent. It is being loud when you need to be loud.
Yeah.
And letting the community know who you are, what you bring to the table, and why they should engage with your product. And it sounds like that's been what you've been doing since that moment, December 2024, and you get onto the shelves, has been really kind of pushing what this is to the consumer. So our paths, Geekdom, yours, start to cross at around that same time. I want to say the 2025 timeframe.
January,
Yeah.
right when I got into HEB.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so we started to interact, and I'll tell you from my point of view and my team's point of view, like you're just such an amazingly excited individual. Like you bring so much energy and light to the room when you come in.
Oh.
And I know that we've worked with you on our GAP program and a handful of other things, and it has just been amazing to see you thrive. But I mean, we're pretty much catching up to where we sit here today. Talking about this last year, I'll point out some milestones. I know that you were a big participant in San Antonio Startup Week. You ended up walking away with, I want to say, $20,000 or $30,000
Yes.
from the community fund
Yes.
in the Women Founders Network pitch, which was
Correct.
amazing. You knocked it out of the park. I shared this with you, but one of the judges I got to see when they were giving out the prizes was just like, it was not even a question. She won. Like you
That
were
was a
head and
great
shoulders
day.
above.
Yes, very, very thankful to all those judges.
Well, it's well deserved. Like I said, you're doing some amazing things here, and obviously there have been some learnings that you've had throughout that year.
Yeah.
I know that you and I recently talked that there's some changes coming to the product.
Mhm.
Why don't you now get us to this moment and help us understand where is Hess Street Foods and what changes are you going through at this moment?
Yes, so one of the very important things I learned at the GAP program here at Geekdom was to really listen, not only to your customer or end consumer, which is the person who's going to buy the paste,
Yep.
but to also listen to your customer number one, which is a retailer.
The ones who are buying to sell, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So that will be in this case HEB.
Yep.
So HEB had some feedback back in October. I'm gonna say October
25.
2025, and they made some recommendations. All these recommendations with the purpose of me being successful at the stores, so they can be successful as
Yep.
well. So it's a win-win, and they have years of experience and expertise, and they know what they're talking about.
Mhm.
So they suggested we change the size of the jar, make it a little bit smaller.
Because it's currently 8 and you're going down to 6 ounces, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We're going down to 6 ounces. Still, people can make a pound of chorizo out of that jar.
Okay.
They also suggested to make it more clear for the shopper what it is,
Okay.
what the product inside is good for.
Yeah. So kind of going back to some of the lessons that it sounded like you learned through the connections. What is it called? Chef Connections, right?
Cooking Connections.
Cooking Connections. Thank you. That they started to introduce this product into so many different ways. They wanted that to be conveyed to the consumer in a way so they knew that this is an additive in a lot of different ways. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And all those chefs and Cooking Connections executive directors had a very important feedback. People were a little confused with the term chorizo paste.
Gotcha.
A lot of them were thinking, oh, this has meat inside. It's like a spread.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, all of our products are vegan, but the vegan statement is on the back of the label.
It's not right out in front, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with the GAP program and all these experts that I had the pleasure to meet and work with, I think at that meeting, I was this was a gift for me. I never saw it as HEB judging the product in a negative way, or you know, wanting to make changes just because. It was really, really a gift for my business.
Supportive, right?
Very supportive
Yeah.
to share all this feedback. So changing in size, make it more clear what you are talking about on the label,
Mm-hmm.
and then offer a better price. So we are working very hard while maintaining, I want to say, while maintaining the same quality or even better.
That's huge
That's huge.
and important.
Yes, it is important for us because we want to offer and to, you know, we already have a very loyal customer base,
Yep.
and we want to bring them the same, if not better, flavor that they're already getting. So we've been working really hard after that meeting on delivering all these recommendations, and we're ready. We're gonna be ready to launch on May this year with everything new. We're very excited. It looks amazing. I'm in love of the new label, and people are really not gonna tell the difference because all the colors are the same,
Mm-hmm.
shapes are the same, fonts are the same. It's just gonna be more clear.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to share more. They'll know what I'm talking about when they go to the store.
Good
Yeah.
to know. Good to know. Okay. So we're now caught up to pretty much where we are today. We've
Yes.
got something to look forward to in May with the new launch of the product. Help me understand and help the audience understand, what does a day look like? Typical day. You know, it's Friday right now. Typical Friday for Maria. What does that day look like for you right now?
I wake up early. I try to go and do a couple of miles. I was talking to with Nick about it. I like running. I stopped for a while, but I'm back to it. So I try to exercise a little bit and have my breakfast. And first thing I do after dropping off my kids is I start checking emails. Every day I have this list. Check how do you say it? Checkup list, where I have all of my pending activities. A lot of people use software. I'm very old style. I have my notebook and I have on my list.
You cross them out.
So I cross. The goal is to cross it cross
of them
them at the end of the day. Everything has to be checked, and just again, same thing that I did with those HEB competition guidelines.
Yeah, that led you to that success.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing now every day.
Same structure, line by line. I need to call these people, and then I make those calls, and then I have to respond these emails, and I respond to those emails, and then I know to go check. I have to go check some stores to see if the price is the promo price, or I have to call HEB. Some days I have to record a video to upload it into our social media so people can see, oh, there's fun way to use the paste.
Yeah.
So it's and also I'm very, very connected to my marketing team. My marketing team is actually led by a person that's here at Geekdom, Sharon Gutierrez.
Oh, I know Sharon. Yeah, she's
Yes,
wonderful. Yeah.
she's wonderful, and she's on board, and she's my number one cheerleader. So we work on our marketing strategies, and that's what we do every day. Go line by line and try to tackle every single thing that is going to take us to the next level.
Nice.
So
Like
it's
that.
small steps, and then when you turn back and you see the whole picture, you don't even realize, and you've moved, I don't know, 500 feet.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to your activity of running. Like
Yes.
you be consistent about it, and amazing things will happen. You'll be in better shape. You'll be able to run further and longer. And to your point, you look back and you see you've
Yeah.
run a marathon. And I mean, you really have to get to this point. And I know, I think when we've contemplated this conversation, or just conversations in general with founders, we really wanted to make sure that as we told these stories, I think a lot of these types of conversations happen with founders who are well beyond the point in time of building. And what I mean by that is they exited their company, they sold it to some big name brand, or they've had some huge success. And part of us talking about it right now while you're still building is to talk about the things that are not always as rosy as they can be as we look back and glorify kind of how things were. So help us understand the big struggles that you're dealing with right now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so the big struggles are always for small businesses and having enough funds,
Yeah.
to grow. So I wish I could get into 500 stores, but to do that, I would have to build a huge inventory, and to
Hmm.
build a huge inventory, I need a huge amount of money.
Yep.
So it's being trying to be patient, and again grow your brand awareness and try to be successful where you're at right
Hmm.
now, which is our goal, to be successful at HEB. And we still have uh, a long road to go. And at HEB, we need to educate our consumers still. We need to they measure us, and one of the metrics is velocity, and we
Mm.
have to improve our velocity. It's it's normal for a new brand to have low velocity at the beginning. It's stressful, but you have to be just consistent, and it's very important for us to pay attention to the quality of the product. The quality of the product is our number one priority. Safety of our ingredients, number one. So if we're really, really committed to that, hopefully our clients start committing
Yeah.
to our business as well. Um, so money is number one. Number two, the team at the beginning is small, so you have to be very, very organized and structured.
Yeah. You wear a lot of hats. I mean, that's the thing is, you mentioned having Sharon, by your side, which is important. But you're the one who has to go and check all those things, the to-do list that you brought up earlier. Like there's a lot on your shoulders to make sure that the business is operating, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So you start building your team little by little. We now have Hayden. He was an intern here at Geekdom.
Nice.
So again, networking and putting yourself out there and connecting to lunches, say Geekdom, all these agencies. It's a great way to go. But still, the team is small, so we have to be very. Communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another struggle, of course, is when you bring an innovative product to the market. Um, you have to really deliver all the bullets of what it makes it great, different, special, unique, and that's an everyday job.
Yep.
An everyday job. So you have to be very persistent and consistent. And I think that's what it's all about not losing faith, having your goal very clear and how to get there, and just working every day, just a couple of steps towards that goal, and you'll get there eventually. And that's our goal, to get there. By the end of this year, we hope to transition into the aisle section, which would be great for Hess Street Foods.
Nice. And do you already know kind of what aisle section that would be at HEBs, or have they, is that kind of dependent on certain things?
So our category right now is cooking sauces.
Okay.
Our buyer Heather has been very supportive, and that's where we'll end up having our home there at cooking sauces. Again, when that happens, we'll be very, very out, like just share to everybody that we're there.
Yeah.
Take videos about that. Make stories about that. It's nowadays you have to be very, very consistent about and communicating where you're at. How
So
to
people
use
can find you, right?
so
Yeah.
people can find you. Exactly. So that's our next step, to be on the aisle section and to be seen by more people. And we're very, very excited about that moment.
Well, let's take a quick beat and recognize something. Most conversations that I have with founders, the timelines tend to stretch. And what I mean by that is I could be talking to somebody about being in the same position you're in today, but it may have taken them twice as long. So just based on the timeline that we've discussed here, it has been almost exactly 3 years to the point that this really took off or started for you. When you moved here to San Antonio, you started engaging with Breakfast and Lunch, and now you having a product on the shelves or at the Cooking Connections at HEB, Pullman Market. It's something that we can go out and we can buy now. I cooked some with the kids the other day, by the way. First experience with chorizo. know they loved it.
Oh,
I think that that's an amazing progress in just those 3 years. And one
thank you.
thing, you deserve it. And one thing that I've noticed
Mhm.
is most of the time I talk to founders as they go through these timelines, and they never stop to recognize the milestones that they've hit. Would you agree that that's the case for you, or have
Yes.
you been able to kind of take some breaths, recognize the progress, and then move on to the next one?
Oh no,
No?
no. Now that you're displaying it like that, the timeline, I'm I'm in awe of all the things that we've accomplished. It's been a lot of work. It's been trying to inject positivity all the time.
Yeah.
The thing that motivates us most is when we get messages from customers telling us how much they love the product, what they've cooked with it. Alex just shared with me a while ago what she made with it. Those moments are very special for us. This
Mhm.
is what we do when we do. And we can wait to bring more products to our product line. We are trying to develop our new family of products, and this all with our customers in mind. We want to make them happy, and it's been an honor to be chosen by them and to be on their kitchen tables.
Yeah. That is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
I'll want to revisit that in one second, but before we do, you mentioned something there that I want to touch on. You talked about new product lines, new things that you're thinking about offering. Would you mind sharing any of that here, or is it a little bit too early to share?
Let's say it all has to be with chorizo.
Gotcha.
It
Okay.
all has to be with chorizo. And I think people that have very, 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 very little time are going to love it.
I get it. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes.
But we'll wait until we hear more about that. One thing I want to touch on, going back to where you just left off, is let's take a moment together real quick. And I want you to, as I think about an event that we have coming up, we're going to be talking with you during San Antonio Startup Day. Let's take a
Yes.
moment there too. But
Yes.
let's recognize that, when you first thought of this idea, it was this idea of the blending of the cultures and bringing it to people that hadn't experienced it before. It started with your kids, and then it went to your neighbors and your rest of your family. And then now it is, I don't know. I mean, how many people is it now that you could, if you could quantify, that have had that product and have had an experience with it? Are we talking thousands now, or are we talking hundreds at least? Where
No,
are we
I
at
think
with
we're
this?
talking thousands. I've never sat down and tried to make the number, but really quick in my head, it is definitely thousands.
Well, let's take a beat there and think
Oh
about
my
that.
goodness, Charles.
You have brought your paternal grandmother's recipe now to thousands of people that have experienced something they never have. I mean, as a personal experience, my kids have never had chorizo before, and they've had your chorizo
Yes.
paste for the very first time. That's huge. So take a moment,
What an
soak
honor.
that in.
What an
Not
honor.
my kids, the thousands
No, but
is what
in
I'm talking
general,
about.
when a kid likes the product, that is a big compliment for
Mhm.
me. And I know that babies are eating it, so.
Well, that's amazing, and it's an honor. I love everything that you do.
Thank
and
you.
We're rooting for you, and we'll
know.
be continuing to promote and celebrate these milestones as you continue to grow.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.